All right, so this is Patrice. Can you briefly introduce yourself and your community and your MRR and to our CEO, Miracle CEO members?
Yeah, for sure. So I have kind of a unique scenario on Skool because I both run and operate communities that are profitable as well as servicing communities on Skool. So I have a community all about freelance copywriting, and that's a 999 community, which I don't really do too much anymore. I'll get into that. And then I have a low ticket community where I teach the strategies that I'm using for my high ticket clients. And that's my main business, is the high ticket clients. So that's why I don't really do the coaching too much anymore. I just don't have time. It's not profitable. I do high ticket services. So I'm a copywriter, writing emails, writing posts, scripts, ads. I'm writing the DMs for Skool communities and helping Skool Games winners scale their communities, reduce churn, and just grow their personal brand. So those are that's my main source of income. Those are 5 and 10K packages. And then I just take the strategies I'm using with them and I share them in my low ticket community. And I don't do anything else besides just post links in that community. So
wow, that's really clever. How many high ticket clients do you have right now?
I have I think 8 high ticket clients right now.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have some clients that are higher priority right now because I have 2 clients on the leaderboard right now. So number 1 and number 8. So those clients, it's the main focus is on them. And then I have certain clients where I've very much automated the process, and I have a copywriter and I have an operator. So I don't do anything for the low ticket community. My operator manages that, sales, everything. And then I have a coach that does all the coaching in that community. And so that way I can focus more on creating really good copy. And my copywriter, she'll do the research and stuff, and then I'll go and I'll edit her copy.
How did you come to this place? Because I remember you were just before you win the Skool game, and how did you manage to win it and then come up now you have team and then you have the people to do this for you and all that, make it so systemized, and this is within a year, right?
Yeah, so 6 months ago, I was making $0 a month. In May, I think I made $1,400, but because I was in a certain business partnership, I didn't see any of that money. So May, I technically made $0, and then June, I made $10K. So basically what I did was I just got into environments and events around successful entrepreneurs. I moved out. I booked enough sales calls in June that I thought I would hit 10K. And my rule had always been when I hit 10K, I'll move out. I'll move out of my parents' house and I'll go get my own place. And so I booked enough sales calls. So I was technically, I can move out now. I'm not at 10K, but so I was okay, book my flights. And I booked my flights to come out here and to come to Skool HQ to get around winners. And at the time, you could get into Skool HQ being level 7. That's not the case anymore. But the time I took advantage of that, I was super active in the community so that I could go and see these people and hang out and meet people like Ted and Goose. And I just got close to people like that. And I didn't have an offer. So it was very natural. I was coming to events, I was coming to conferences, I was getting on mastermind calls, genuinely just learning. I would ask questions what made you start your business? How did you find your offer? Do you ever feel imposter syndrome? I was genuinely just curious. And so they never felt like they were being sold to because I had nothing to sell them. And then June came, and at that point I'd been practicing copywriting for a little bit, and I got some really good results with my own email list. So I was what if I offer this to other people? It was this, crazy revelation. Actually, I was so frustrated with that business partnership that didn't work out and that $1,400 that I didn't see. Yeah. That I was frick this, I'm going to go and make money. And so I just started off all these people that I'd spent months going to events and networking with and meeting. I then showed them my offer. I was hey, I will help you do this. And we'll solve this problem, blah, blah, get on a sales call. And I closed a lot of people just straight off the bat because I had all that goodwill that I built up for those months. And I didn't start out with any money. I was unemployed. I was making $0. I spent my savings to come to these events, to meet these people without a business to make money. So it was very risky. I calculated how many days I had before I had $0 in the bank. And it was it was coming close. And so June, things sort of changed. I hit 10K a month. And then I was okay, I'm all in now. I'm not going back home. I'm staying out here. Just kept coming to events, finding ways to add value. And I realized if you add value to really successful people, it's inevitable that you're going to be successful as well. So I would just find ways Goose, for example, I helped him film some content for the games one time. I helped Ted write a book. And I just found ways, I did coaching calls. So yeah, I just found ways that I could add value to people like Ted, people like Goose, doing like free coaching calls, helping their community, answering questions, like just being valuable so that when I had something to ask for in return, it was like automatically, yeah, how can I help? So that brought us to August, where I was making 10K a month. I was like, I don't know, this is boring. Like 10K a month, that's cool, but like that felt more cool before I hit it. Now it's kind of boring. So I was like, I had just flown home to visit my family, and I was driving home from the airport with my brother, and I was like, it's a day before August 1st. I was like, do you want to help me win the school games?
So random.
I was like, I think 10K is kind of lame, and I don't want to do it. So I was like, let's just win the school games and like see what happens. And we mapped out exactly what we'd have to do. We thought we'd have to generate like 15 to 20K. Turns out we had to generate a lot more. And for the first,
we're like that. So like 20K should be okay, and then I was like, oh, we need more. Change the plan.
It's so motivating though, because like once you're in that competition, you're like, I'm not gonna let that person beat me. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Entrepreneurs, you're very competitive, and so during the time I was back home in New York, where I'm from, and I was there for the first 3 weeks of August, and in that time I was just trying to coach freelance copywriters how to do copywriting, because all my copywriting clients were off school. I was just charging them through PayPal, and then on school I just saw that as like coaching. So I was like, okay, I can coach copywriting. So I had copywriting students, and I made 8K in 3 weeks. Not enough to win the games. Not even close. I was like on track to just make 10K that month. And I got on a call with Max Pearson. And I was like, Max, I'm going for the games. I'm going to win. If I make 5 more sales, I'll be top 20.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're targeting the wrong people. Like, you're going to make so much content. You have no personal brand. Like, why don't you just do your copywriting on school? And so I switched my entire offer, like within an hour of that call, I changed the entire offer, and I booked a flight for the next day to come back out here to get around entrepreneurs. And in the last 6 days of the games, I generated $20,000, and it was all because I just pivoted the entire offer, started servicing entrepreneurs instead of broke college students. And yeah, that was the launch pad, because then I got those people really good results. And then I used that as leverage to get higher and higher ticket clients. And that was like really exciting. And you know, when you're working with entrepreneurs, like you're leveling yourself up as like your service. Like it's like free coaching basically. Exactly. So like I get on a call with Ted, and he'd be like going through the copy, like, oh, I would change this, and I'm like, wow, people pay thousands of dollars for this, and he's paying me to write his copy. Yeah. I mean, Ted's kind of just like taking me under his wing. I wouldn't be here without Ted. And same as Max, like for the games, that pivot was crucial. And just like, it's all just a result of like the people that I got around. And it's not the offer. It's not me. I'm not special. I wasn't talented. I didn't know what copywriting was like a year ago. Literally, you could have asked me, I would have been like, is that like some legal thing? I have no idea. And so it was just purely like, I had owned a business at 19, like a freaking makeup online website, but it was like really unsuccessful, and I lost a lot of money. So copywriting was something I had to learn, and I just spent like 12 hours a day learning it. That was like...
How did you learn it so fast?
I spent 12 hours a day, every day.
Oh, 12 hours a day. That's practicing. You really did a lot of practice.
I didn't see
you
my family,
did a lot of practicing.
Friends. Yeah. It's like, you like the 10,000 hours rule?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you spend 10,000 hours, you'll become like the best or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you can spread that out over like 10 years. Or you can condense that into like 1 year. And the crazy thing about that, putting that much work into something, is yes, you'll lose your friends. Yes, you'll probably not see your family. Yes, you will lose every aspect of balance in your life. You're going to sleep less. You're going to sacrifice everything that everyone else deems as important. But the person that you will become in that, because it's not like you do that forever. And the person that you'll become in such a short period of time, you condense that personal growth journey. The same way you condense the income journey. Like it's insane. So if I look back at myself 6 months ago, I'm like, oh, she was so little. Like, she didn't know anything about business. She was just like trying to figure it out. It's like, that's 6 months ago, and I don't recognize myself 6 months ago because I was so new to everything. And so that makes me excited about the next 6 months. It's like, what's that? Who am I going to be in 6 months? I have no idea. But I know 6 months from now, I'm going to look back at this time and be like, I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah. What's your goal for the next 6 months? Like your vision next year?
I try to set goals for 3 months.
So 3 months. So you normally set like a quarter like that.
Yeah. I think you want a goal that is close enough that you can envision what you need to do every day and big enough that it scares the heck out of you. So my goal 3 months out is 100K per month through school and through my copywriting business. And completely outsourcing the school community and just optimizing that workflow, building the team out a little bit more, working with higher ticket clients, whether that's on school or off school. Currently, like my qualifications for clients is they have to be doing 100K per month. So like during the games, I was taking anyone as a client. That sucked. I was charging $9.99 for like an entire copywriting package that I now charge like 10K for. But if I hadn't done that for that month, if I hadn't undersold my skill set, if I hadn't undersold my time and just been willing to work crazy hours, I wouldn't be able to charge 10K for a client now.
Right.
Like new entrepreneurs think that like their time is so valuable. No, like I'm not going to get on a call with you because my time's more valuable than that. It's like, no, it's not. Until you're making money, your time is actually worthless. Like until you have a bank statement to show how valuable your time is, you should be getting on calls, adding free value, coaching people for free, building things, like finding problems to solve for free until you're good enough that people have to pay you.
Yeah.
So that's like, I don't know. I just didn't have an option. Nobody was willing to pay me, so I had to do it for free. But
you are like the live walking like example of like people say you only need 6 months.
Yeah.
That's
6 months.
6 months change your life.
Yeah. You can retire. You can put 100K in the bank. You can get a new car. You can do whatever the heck you want. And like my journey isn't that special. I know, like I have clients now that are they've grown way faster than me. So that's just like, you get around people that are like even better than you. That's a way to shortcut that. But like, there's always somebody that's doing better. So like, I think as an entrepreneur, to keeping that competition in mind, like all the time, and like, yes, you should have a long-term vision, but you should set short-term goals. So like set a 3-month goal, because that's really easy to break it into a weekly goal, break it into a daily goal, and then figure out what do I need to do tomorrow morning to get me one day closer to that goal, as opposed to like a goal that's 10 years out.
That's so beautiful. How did you like outsourcing the talents? Like because
one-on-one students only. I don't hire people that haven't paid me, because if they're in my program, they've paid me to train them. Otherwise, I have to pay an employee to train them. Why would I do that?
Exactly. Oh, that's a smart takeaway.
And they understand the
Write
offer.
Write it down.
They understand the offer. They understand what like your client wants because they were your client.
Yeah.
There's so much they already know just because of where you found them.
Yeah.
And then I let them self-identify. I don't go, I mean, if I needed to, I would make a post and be like, hey, I'm hiring this role. But I haven't had to. Like, my operator, Saketh, he literally just shot me a message. He's like, hey, I really want to operate a community. I want to do it for free, get a really awesome case study, and just, use that to build my brand. And I was like, cool, I love it. Get me some good results and I'll just pay you. You don't have to like use it to find someone else.
Yeah.
And so he started working for me. Same with my copywriter. She asked to work for free. She worked for free for a full month. And then I started paying her. And at that point, she was really good because I trained her for a full month.
Yeah, exactly.
For free. So, yeah.
I think that's one magic about the school community as well. Like my community happened the same way too. Like I have another teacher like making courses for me, like just willing to do it, to share it, just love it and love the vibe and everything here. Yeah.
Like, if someone's working for you, they're essentially getting paid to be coached by you now. So it goes from like they were paying you to get trained on the offer, trained on whatever it is you teach at the beginning. So they're a perfect employee for you because they already have that rudimentary understanding. But then they start working for you and now they're getting coached by you because a lot of your employees probably want to become similar to you at some point and they're just like a couple steps behind you. And you're a couple steps behind like Alex Hormozi. And so like they can see that ladder like Benny was talking about on a podcast. And so if they're behind you on the ladder, they know like what the next couple steps are and where it's going to get them.
More like visualize, right? And then once things that visualize, then you kind of, I know what my goal should be, something like that. Yeah. Otherwise, people just kind of very blur and then don't know which step, like which way to take.
And it's so important to like know the goals, like even outside of money. Like I spent like a couple hours talking with my operator yesterday, just like, so what are your goals? Like business-wise, do you want to be like psycho, like Elon Musk, like business everything? Do you want to have like balance? Do you want to have like a Ted Car lifestyle where you're traveling? Like, tell me now so that I can help you make that happen. Because like you're working for me because you want to realize a goal. And if I don't know what that goal is, I can't help you realize it. So like that I think has to be the priority as like someone that's running a business is to make sure that the goals of the people working with you are fit inside your goal and you're helping them achieve those things. Because I look at like someone like Max, for example, and how driven his team is, how united they are. It's because they all have goals within his business. And now they're all like, building this business that is like, it's all of their business at this point. because he found out what their goals were and he facilitated an environment where they could achieve those goals within his master goal of creating a school masterclass. So that's like, I think the blueprint to like really be a good leader is like have those goals really clearly aligned with your long-term goal.
And then just cope with it, helping them, like back to the original, you're helping them.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like be a good person. Like,
yes.
Have a vision that is outside of yourself.
That's exactly what school is about. Jay, do you have any like other questions that you want to ask Patrice?
可以问看看说，如果给台湾人这些建立社群的这些新的这个创作者，他们建议的话，就是不要做什么？对。
Oh, yeah. That we always ask everybody, how come I forget this? Like, if you give like one suggestion to the newbies in like Mandarin community, like if they want to start their community, what's the one thing you would tell them not to do?
It's one thing not to do.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. One thing not to do. Let me see. One thing not to do is like feel like you have to build everything out, a perfect classroom, perfect course, before you start getting members. Just start like adding value in other communities, in the school community, through content, adding free value, whether it's, you know, it's in ads or it's in a YouTube video or it's in a podcast or it's in someone else's community on a call or whatever. Add some value and really find out what does the marketplace want, because it's actually less about what you want to do and more about what does the marketplace need. I had to change my offer because I wanted to teach college kids how to start their own business, and then I realized college kids are broke, and like as much as they want to start a business, they couldn't pay me to help them. So I had to change and do copywriting, which I do for very rich people who can then pay me money. And at some point, that empire that I'm building will help me help college kids. But right now, I'm doing something that I would consider a means to the end. I'm learning a skill that's very valuable to very wealthy people that can pay me a lot of money. And so I would say that, like, listen to the marketplace and do that through adding a ton of value and content and in other communities so that you can get feedback. And also, like, you're not married to a niche. So, like, if you start a community about one thing, you can change it. Like, I've changed my community literally at least 10 times. So you can start a community, try and get some sales. Maybe you get like 5 people to buy, and then you're like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. And people don't seem to like it either. So I'm going to change it to something else. That's fine too. Because like, it would be better for you to do that than to sit and wait and procrastinate and try and figure out what's the best community to start. You're not going to be able to get that. You're not going to start the best community first try. Guaranteed. Whether it's like a good offer that you have to develop it further, you have to build something out, or you have to tweak it, change something, you're going to have to change things. So just start making sales, get on sales calls, add free value, get like a beta client.
Exactly, beta client. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just start to do the experiment.
因为他是文案撰写的高手嘛，他可不可以分享一个建议？就是因为我们在台湾也有很多的人会去别的社群 po 贴文，那你怎么在给予这个价值？同时让人家认识到自己，但是又不会让人家觉得你一直在打广告。
Oh, well, that's a good question. It's actually because you're like a copywriting expert right now. And like, how do you go to other people's community to give value? But also, of course, when you give value, you kind of want to self-promote a little bit, right? Otherwise, people don't remember you. And like, how do you not doing it like, but not so salesy or pushy? Like, what's the trick?
I don't think people remember you because you have a CTA or because you promote yourself. I think people remember you based on how much value you add. So, for example, when I was going for the games and leading up to that, also how I built my personal brand on school was I would just go and I would spend hours researching a single concept like VSLs, for example. And I would write a full post, like probably like 400-word post on how to write a VSL step by step. Do this first. Here's the script. And I would link things and I would, no CTA. The final sentence would say like, hope this is helpful. Hope to see you succeed. See your VSL soon. Send me your VSL if you need more help. I would never have a CTA. And what would happen is people would click my profile, they would follow me, or they would join my free community. From there, they would get to know me more. Some people just joined my paid community directly because I added value. I had 0 CTAs. And I actually think that's more powerful. If you're adding good value and you're solving a real problem and you're doing so in a way that people can take it and immediately apply it from your post.
So this is actually come back to you already built up your profile to be like kind of like a funnel way, right? Because then people come curiously looking at you and then see and then Like now you're already starting funneling people in.
Yeah.
So what's your secret there? Like how do you suggest people to build out their profile to make it so?
I mean, I didn't think it through really. I didn't do any special formula. I think like my bio is just like, it still has to do with college kids because that's still my dream. But like, I think it says helping the next generation skip college and jump straight into entrepreneurship. And I just have a profile picture of myself. You always want to have your face. Builds trust. But that's it. At one point, I think I had a book a call link. I didn't get any book calls from that. So the real strategy was just having a free community and adding enough value that then when, let's say, Max Pearson or Ted Carr mentioned my name, people already knew me.
Yeah.
So when I started jumping on calls, doing free coaching calls for Ted, doing free coaching calls for Max, coaching his community on copywriting, those people already knew my name. They knew I was good at copywriting because they'd read my posts. And so it's more of like a long game. It's like that one post may not get you any clients, but it's creating a brand. And you have to actually like whatever it is you're talking about in order to write posts that might not make you money. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like, why am I doing this? I just want money. So if you don't actually like what you're talking about, it's gonna be kind of hard to do this strategy. But if you actually can just nerd out about one thing for like 6 months, just be like a total nerd about copywriting. Just like who else goes and writes 400 pages just about like the first 3 steps to make a VSL. Like I was just nerding out. And so because of that, people got a lot of value. They started to see me as an authority. And then if someone actually needed a VSL, they're like, oh, go talk to Patrice. She knows how to do a VSL. And so when you add that value, and I think that's another nugget, is if you teach somebody how to do something in so much detail that it's overwhelming, they'll just pay you to do it for them. But they see you as giving a lot of goodwill because like, oh, I just gave you all the steps you need to do it.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do it because they're
too busy. Yeah.
So it's like, give everything away, Alex Hormozi style, and then charge people if they want help implementing on it.
Exactly. Like charge the service and
yeah. Done for you service is probably the easiest business to start. Especially in like the online business world. Like if you have a done for you service, you make graphics, you write copy, you edit, you make thumbnails, you run ads. There's a lot of different services where you're actually doing something for someone.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier to get started with because there's a tangible deliverable that you're giving them.
Yeah.
As opposed to coaching where it's like a little harder to get started. You can. I've done both. But I think if you're brand new, find a service, thumbnails, graphics, YouTube videos, copywriting, ads, content editing, whatever it is, and just get really good at doing that and target, like ideally something that you can sell to high ticket people. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Amazing. And I actually found that like everybody has the same one common point that I observed from interviewing all these successful winners. You have crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes.
No, it's like everybody's like, ooh, and then especially when you guys talking about
it's like
school community, and then it's like, boo.
It's like finding gold. I think that's
like,
oh my God, because like
I hope that's not offensive.
No. I agree. I'm like, I'm glad that you can feel that because I feel like we found like 2008, 2009 Facebook before it blows up. And I think school is on there's like a 6-month trajectory right now where it's just going to go absolutely insane. And it's not going to be the same after that. And so if you get in now and you build a community now, that wave, it's like a rising tide raises all ships. So if you're positioned and you have a community, you're one of those ships that's going to get raised up by that just influx of users that's going to come on. And if you establish yourself as an authority in whatever niche, whatever space that you're in, you're going to be so well positioned to just get like traffic organically from school. So it's like, this is the time. That's why I'm excited about it. Like it's my entire business and brand is built on school. But because I built it on school and because I started working for influential people on school, I could go find clients on any platform now. I have people reach out to me from all over the world, every kind of business niche, because I work for people like Max Pearson, Ted Carr, like those names. So like use school, whether it's the long-term game plan or you have a different game plan, use school right now to be like your launch pad. That's like the place you want to be positioned to, like, I mean, it's the best place to start your first business, but like to scale a business, to take a business online, like it's just, there's so many different uses for it. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, get in right now. Now is the best time.
Now. Yeah.
And I think in Taiwan we still have a little bit time because we are kind of a little delayed.
Yeah.
Like the trend and everything is kind of delayed here, like maybe 1 year or something. So, but get it now.
Yeah.
And then open a community now.
Yeah. The earlier you're in, it's like finding the internet in the 90s. Like
exactly.
People that like found the internet really early on. Like look at them now. Like look at the people that created like eBay, Amazon. Like because if you take advantage of it, like right now, you're just gonna get caught up in that crazy like .com burst. Like,
Yeah.
You're just gonna get caught up in that trajectory. And so, like there's no better time than now to start and just like accept the fact that you're gonna fail a lot and get excited about it, because failure is like where the best ideas are birthed. So if you don't fail, you can't win. So just get excited about failing a ton.
I love it. Thank you.
For sure, yeah.
Thank you, Patrice. This is awesome. So much. Let's do a mentoring class right now.
Yeah.
So I can't write there. Our community name is called Miracle CEO, actually, in English. And we say 奇迹 CEO.
CEO.
Oh, wow. It's really good. yeah. The accent and everything is like perfect. Did you learn Mandarin before?
No. I'm really good at accents though.
Yeah. Oh, this is amazing. All right. 我们讲说什么？加入奇迹 CEO 吗？ I can make it more difficult because you're so good. And add another 2 words. 加入奇迹 CEO.
Wait, say it again.
加入奇迹 CEO.
Say it one more time.
加入奇迹 CEO.
Chalu CG CEO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say it together. Come here. All right. 1, 2, 3. 加入奇迹 CEO. Thank you.